And welcome back. I'm here with Ernest Richardson from the Omaha Symphony, the principal pops conductor. Ernest, thank you for joining me.
It's great to be here.
We're going to talk a little about the Choral Collaborative, but I just wanted to get a little background on you, just
Sure.
a little history on how long you've been at the Symphony, where you came from, and what's been going on.
Well, I've been here 25 years,
Okay.
which is quite remarkable.
That is.
Yes, I came here from the Phoenix Symphony.
Okay.
And prior to that, I was at school. I was a graduate school at University of Michigan and undergrad at Indiana University.
Okay. And tell me just a little bit about, why, not necessarily the Omaha Symphony, but, what you're doing there, your passion about everything that goes on with your job, your career.
Sure. Well, I've grown to absolutely adore this community, and I came to the community with a love for the sound of a symphony orchestra and a fascination for how a professional resident orchestra can change a community.
Right.
And so we put those together in these past years with Omaha Symphony. And Choral Collaborative is really a natural outgrowth of connecting the sound of an orchestra to its community.
Yeah, and I would say the Omaha Symphony, just being here and doing what I've been doing for close to 28 years and kind of watching this organization grow and outreach in the community to do all the different kind of things they do with education, with kids, and really providing just a nice variety of performances for everybody, kind of taste for everybody. But let's go back, talk about Choral Collaborative. What do you have coming up?
Well, it's a very exciting concert. The Choral Collaborative program this year is Mendelssohn's Elijah, which is the story of the prophet Elijah.
Right.
And it has all the things that you want, gods competing against each other, possibilities of murder, intrigue. It's really very exciting music. It's with 500 high school voices.
That's amazing.
It's an amazing sound. It's a program that really has taken us about 20 to 25 years to develop because it was an audacious idea, the notion that we could combine high school singers with a professional orchestra singing the great repertoire, the great choral repertoire. It requires tremendous dedication by teachers. It's a monstrous project for our staff to handle. It's unbelievable amount of work to make it actually happen. So for that to happen and turn into this brilliant sound has been a remarkable journey for us.
So is this, because, I love interviewing people like you, because I'm actually learning in the learning process as I'm interviewing you. Have you done this before? Has the Choral Collaborative, it's something you've done in past years?
Yes, the Choral Collaborative began.
Give me a little history.
Yes, it began probably in my first 2 or 3 years here with the Symphony. It comes back to what I was talking about, connecting the sound of the orchestra to the community.
Right.
So the one thing that we know the community values is its children. Yeah. And there's a tremendous choral tradition, choral singing tradition in the schools in this community. So I met with one of the leaders, whose name was Don Reimer. He was at Bellevue West at the time. And I said, what would happen if we combined high school singers with a professional orchestra? So we just started experimenting. And the first few performances were at his school. And then we started getting more and more schools together, and the program kept growing and growing. Then it moved to the concert hall because that's the only place it would fit.
Right.
And then it became something that was such a success artistically and from what the mission of the orchestra is that we put it as a special on our series. So it's one of 3 or 4 specials that we do every year. And
tell me about the schools involved. Is it the overall line schools? Is it the Omaha Public? Is it?
We have schools from OPS.
Okay.
We have schools from Blair and Fremont.
Okay.
So really, it requires a director who wants to take on a tremendous amount of extra work.
Sure.
So you don't have to teach major choral works to your students in high school. You don't have to do that.
Sure.
And you can give them a great education. But these wonderful men and women take this job on and do this amazing work for us. And I think you might have mentioned, or these students really have to sing at a very professional choir level. Yes. So you're like bringing in the best of these, these young adults around the community to do this. Yes. You start working on a piece in August, and then you rehearse with the orchestra 3 times and perform in November. Right. So when in November? Well, that's a very good question, which I couldn't answer for you specifically because I don't know the date. But soon. Okay, that sometime in November you're going to perform. And ask me, the rehearsal process. Let's talk a little bit about the rehearsal process and how you approach that. Sure, I believe our concert's the 11th of November, yes. Okay. So the rehearsal process starts in August where the students and the teachers are given choral parts that have been prepared. So the choral director and I decide how we want to present this.
Okay.
And then he will go ahead and edit the choral scores. So the teachers get that to start off with. And then Dr. Breland from Creighton is our choir master. He goes around to each of the schools and begins working with them. He comes up with a detailed process of how to rehearse the music, how to prepare it, get them ready for our first mass rehearsal, which is about in the middle of the process, which we just had.
Okay.
And then we start going and having visits with me and a wonderful pianist that works with us with each of the schools.
Okay.
And then we go back to each of the schools and bring the soloists that we have for each production. So we've been talking about how great singing sounds, but neither of us can actually do it.
Right.
So when you have these amazing professional singers coming in who can then take the metaphor and the kids can actually hear what they're trying to sound like, it's a really remarkable experience. And so that is the next phase of it. And then you mentioned the 3 rehearsals we have with the orchestra as well.
Yeah. So is there anything else like this in the United States?
We're not aware that this is happening anywhere at all.
Oh my goodness.
We think it's absolutely unique to Omaha. We're not even sure it's happening anywhere else in the world, to tell you the truth. At this level,
right.
High school kids occasionally will sing with a professional orchestra, but to have 500 present a major choral work in the Symphony Hall as a special to the entire community, we're pretty sure we're the only ones that are doing that.
All right. Well, first of all, I can only imagine just as when I was in high school, which was a ways, a few decades ago, and in the singing process, I love to sing. I was in the choir, I did drama and played the violin.
We were almost doing exactly the same thing.
But what an opportunity to be able to do this, because that wasn't available back when I was in high school. So.
Sure, it's incredible. And I have kids who will be working with me in the community in one way or the other, either it's a coffee bar or someplace, and they're 25 or older, and they'll say, hey, maestro, and they'll get this big smile on their face, and I'll say, well, hey, how are you doing? And they say, I was in such and such high school, and we performed whatever piece. So it makes a profound impact on them when they have this opportunity.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Again, that is a phenomenal opportunity. So before I let you go, I just want to talk, what are you most excited about in the upcoming year with the Symphony?
Well, this is one of my most exciting projects.
Right.
I look forward to this every year. And then the second most exciting thing, which is really all the equally exciting, is our Christmas show, which is coming up in December.
Right.
And then there's these movie concerts we do. That's exciting. It's just a really exciting year for
us.
I
was looking over everything that's happening. And again, the performances, they range in such a variety of really appealing to so many types of people in the community. Because a lot of times you think of the symphony and it's classical music, and which I personally love, but you have a rock series that's either coming up or it might have just passed. You've got the Christmas show. You've got all these different things that really appeal to such a wide variety, and people can buy the season or they can buy individual tickets. So it
speaks to the virtuosity of American orchestras in which we can play every style.
Right.
And we can play every style from show to show, from weekend to weekend. And that's one of the great things is that, Count Basie said there's only good music and bad music. That's it. And I really believe that style is not the issue. Is the music compelling?
Absolutely.
And we have a compelling, amazing season.
Absolutely. Well, people can go to the website,
OmahaSymphony.org.
to find out all kinds of information and to buy tickets and all that good stuff. So
that's correct.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about the Choral Collaborative. That's just an awesome thing. So
thank you. We're very proud of it. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and we will be right back.